everybody. I am switching things up a little bit today and coming to you live around lunchtime. And so I'm going to be doing a midday Wellness Wednesday as opposed to my normal evening Wellness Wednesday. You might have caught a little glimpse of my cat. She loves to get in on my live videos. So first of all, today we are going to be talking about digestive health. Those who know me know that that is an area of specialty. Digestive issues are something that I dealt with for at least 7 years, and I sought help for those 7+ years, knowing that my digestive issues were wreaking havoc on my life in many ways. And I wanted to prevent them from developing into something worse. So before we get started talking more about digestive health and why it's important to go with your gut, I would like you to drop a 1 in the comment box if you are listening in live. And if you tune into the replay, drop a 2 in the comment box. For both situations, also write in the comment box where you're tuning in from so I can see your locale. So again, we are going to be talking about digestive health today, and I'd like to start off the video by asking you a question to think about. The question is, how well are you digesting? And since it is about lunchtime, perhaps you're finishing up lunch, or maybe you have yet to have lunch, but I thought that would be appropriate to consider. How well are you digesting what you eat? So I'd like to have you consider on a scale of 1 to 10, and if you feel comfortable sharing it, please drop that in the comment box. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that everything or almost everything you eat seems to make you feel sick and bloated and gassy, nauseous, all those fun symptoms. And also, if you are more toward a 1 on this ranking, perhaps you feel like your gut controls your life and everything seems to revolve around the uncomfortable feelings that you get from your gut. Or perhaps you're planning your life around trips to the bathroom, or just that you're not really present with other people because you're so focused in on those 500 million neurons that are cranky and upset in your gut. I don't know if you guys saw, but I posted today earlier a did you know post about, did you know that about 500 million neurons are in our guts? And that is way more neurons than what is found in our spinal cord even. And did you know that our nervous systems in our gut, the nervous system that's in our gut can function independently if needed, independently from our central nervous system. If something would happen to our brain or our spinal cord, our gut could still function. Talk about amazing, right? How our bodies are designed for survival. That's how I look at it. So if you feel like your life is revolving around your gut, you often have negative symptoms associated with eating, and maybe it's not even when you're eating, but throughout the day you're experiencing some pain, nausea, gas, bloating, irritability in your gut. If you're sort of toward the middle where you're occasionally having some of those symptoms and it sometimes impacts your life, having to stop to go to the bathroom periodically, or just having some difficulties with your concentration, your mood, think about if you're more toward the middle of the scale. And then if you're more toward the 10, maybe an 8 to 10 range, that would be more like you feel amazing overall, that when you eat, it's contributing to your energy levels, it contributes to your vitality, and that you feel that it's a beneficial thing for you to be eating and not experiencing all of those symptoms that I previously mentioned. So where do you fall on that scale as far as digestion goes? So I wanted to focus in on the concept of interconnectedness today. So our bodies are interconnected. Would you agree with that? So let's say this isn't going to be related to my gut, but let's say that I'm having a terrible pain in my hand. How does that impact other areas of my body, perhaps? So if anyone here who is dealing with pain issues could probably easily tell you that when you're dealing with pain, and if it's fairly significant pain or you're sensitive to that, your brain is processing that pain. And is it easy to concentrate when you're having such intense pain in your hand? I would think not. Not from my own experiences. What you would tend to is what is yelling at you, what is sending you signals. So those nerves going on in your hand are firing messages to your brain that something hurts. So not only does it happen in our hands and other parts of our body, but it happens in our gut as well. So I'm going to give two examples of this interconnectedness at play. So first of all, we have this, I like to think of it as a superhighway going from our gut to our brain and our brain to our gut. Neurons, a lot of nerves and pathways to communicate between our brain and our gut and vice versa. So let's take an example of how our brain might affect our gut. So you might be able to relate to this scenario. You're having thoughts about messing something up or failure or maybe getting in trouble for something, whether it's at work or school. And what happens when you're worrying and you are really stressed out, you're nervous, you're thinking about what could go wrong? How does your gut feel? What do you notice when that happens? So for many people, they might describe how it feels in their gut, such as butterflies in your stomach. That one comes up a lot. Can you think of any other idioms or sayings that people have regarding the feelings that they get in their gut when they are nervous, anxious, worried? I think a lot of people may feel sick to their stomach. It may not just be butterflies, but feel very sick, may not want to eat, or some people end up eating to try to calm those feelings, whether or not that is effective or not. It may not be the case at all that helps, because your body is in a state of stress. So digesting is not typically something that will occur well when you're nervous and upset. Then let's take another example. Instead of the brain message to our gut, let's think about a message that could be coming from our gut back up to our brain. So a lot of people, whether they realize it or not, are experiencing gut imbalance and inflammation. And that is often where health issues and conditions are stemming from, originating in the gut and then impacting other areas of the body. So if you're having a gut imbalance, maybe you have an overgrowth of bad bacteria or yeast or both, and that can be triggered by many things. It can be triggered by antibiotics, by chlorine in the drinking water, antibiotics in food. I posted about that to consider. Do you consider the food you're eating, the meat? Were those animals given antibiotics? And if you don't know that, then you could be getting antibiotics in ways that you don't even realize. So if you have this inflammation going on in your gut, this imbalance, that can create pain signals that will then go back up to your brain. If you're not absorbing your nutrients properly because of a gut issue, think about energy levels. Are you going to, if the fuel that you're eating is not being absorbed, those minerals, those vitamins are not being absorbed properly, are you going to feel like running a race? No, you're going to be dragging and, often not feeling good because you're not getting the nutrients that your body needs to fuel you. And those of us who are very busy and lead very active lives, we need nutrients. We need things to fuel us. And if we're not properly absorbing them, that is a recipe for disaster and, not wanting to get out of bed, feeling extreme fatigue, which is what happens over time for many people with digestive issues. So I could go on and on about that, but also with the digestive imbalance, a lot of people end up experiencing in the long run inflammation in their brain, which is a huge problem, and it can create things like brain fog and feelings of irritability, not having enough energy to fuel your brain as well. I see that in kids, I see that in adults, I see it across the board, and it is a major issue for people and their health. The number of people dealing with brain conditions, not only mental health related, but dementia, memory issues, they are tracing back to issues that originated in the gut. Have you heard of that? I really, really encourage you to look further into that, because think about how many people could prevent something later on if they really address their digestive health and caught the inflammation cascade before it got out of hand and out of control and eventually impacted their brain. So basically the highlight of today was to talk more about digestive health, to have you consider how well are you digesting the food that you eat. Does it seem like it's effective for running, running your body, which is like a machine? Or what you're eating and how you're digesting, is that more creating breakdowns and making you feel very fatigued and overwhelmed? I didn't speak to food sensitivities, but food sensitivities were a huge problem for me, and it was a missing piece for me getting better. Again, 7+ years went by, and that was something that was not found until later on. But if you're dealing with food sensitivities and allergies, that can be a huge problem for people and their vitality and their overall wellness. So I'd love to hear from you about how you feel you are digesting your food, your nutrients, and if you're experiencing some of the things I mentioned, and I had a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being really poor digestion and feeling very imbalanced, having bloating, gas, planning your life around bathroom trips, and on and on. Also, you might be having some mental health types of conditions like anxiety, depression, mood difficulties, and difficulties focusing, attention problems. Those are all things that are being traced back to our digestive health. So it cannot be ignored. But I'd love to hear from you about what you're experiencing. I am passionate about this area of wellness, digestive health, because it impacts everything. And if you're in need of support, I would love for you to reach out to me, and we could schedule some time to talk. I do 75-minute wellness consults where we could really delve into your history, your wellness history, your exposure to things that could lead to the digestive imbalance, and I help you put together a plan to get going for rebalancing your gut and rebalancing your life. And I also offer coaching packages, which offer the most transformation because it's an ongoing support that I offer to you over typically a period of 12 sessions, so that sustained habit change can occur and we can really start getting your wellness and your digestive balance back in check. So please reach out to me if you are ready to get back on track. This fall, with kids being back to school, This is a prime time. It's always a good time, but prime time as everyone's getting back into a consistent routine and schedule to put yourself first and prioritize your digestive health and your wellness. So reach out to me if you're in need of support, and I would love to be able to support you in rebooting your gut and rebooting your life. Have a wonderful day, guys. Be well and take care of you. Until my next Wellness Wednesday, have a wonderful week. Bye.